Nightcast. Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth brings you the current news from the world today and how it relates to Bible prophecy. Understanding the end-time events leading to the peaceful world tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to this July 8, 2015 Wednesday night edition of Nightcast. In the news tonight, we're opening with a tornado that has swept through the outskirts of the Italian city of Venice, destroying homes and other buildings. Media reports suggest one person was killed and dozens injured as the storm hit the town of Dolo between Venice and Padua. This video, originally posted on ureporter.it, shows the twister in the midst of strong winds. Okay, for instance, there's no other commentary with that, but there's live footage of that devastating tornado there in Italy. And almost as devastating as a tornado, the news from Greece continues with this video clip. You're going to see the President of the European Council, Donald Tusk. As he speaks, we'll have commentary and more video following this.
I will not discuss the rights and the wrongs of the Greek referendum. Everyone has their own perceptions. It is necessary at this stage to move on. Let bygones be bygones. At the Euro Summit last night, leaders had a frank and honest exchange about the difficult situation now before us. We asked Prime Minister Tsipras to present his government's ideas for sustainable growth and prosperity in Greece. The Eurogroup will now consider the detail of Greece's request for a program under the ESM Treaty. Clarifications will be needed in the coming days, and these should be provided as quickly as possible. All sides of the negotiations share the responsibility for the current status quo. I call on all leaders to try to find consensus that can be our common success with no losers or winners. If this does not happen, it will mean the end of the negotiations with all the possible consequences, including the worst-case scenario, where everyone will lose. Our inability to find agreement may lead to the bankruptcy of Greece and the insolvency of its banking system. And for sure, it will be most painful for the Greek people. I have no doubt that this will affect Europe, also in the geopolitical sense. If someone has any illusion that it will not be so, they are naive. The stark reality is that we have only 4 days left to find ultimate agreement. Until now, I have avoided talking about deadlines, but I have to say it loud and clear that the final deadline ends this week. All of us are responsible for the crisis, and all of us have a responsibility to resolve it. As Plutarch once said, to find fault is easy. To do better may be difficult. I hope doing better is not so difficult as Plutarch once thought. Let us prove him wrong. Thank you.
Once again, that was the President of the European Council, Donald Tusk. You could see behind him the Prime Minister of Greece, Mr. Tsipras, who, I'll tell you in a moment what happened, I'll tell you more what happened in a moment, but let me just recap. Donald Tusk called on delegates at the European Parliament today to let bygones be bygones and reach a consensus with Greece. He said EU leaders had only 4 days to come to an agreement with Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras, who, again, you could see in this video, in the video we just played, you could see Mr. Tsipras sitting in the video directly behind Mr. Tusk. He was, of course, at today's Parliament meeting. And Mr. Tusk said, our inability to find an agreement may lead to the bankruptcy of Greece and the insolvency of its banking system. And he went on and said, for sure, it will be most painful for the Greek people. I have no doubt this will affect Europe also in the geopolitical sense. If someone has any illusion that it will not, they are naive, Mr. Tusk said. And the Greek Prime Minister, Alexis Tsipras, was greeted with both cheers and boos as he arrived at the European Parliament in Strasbourg today. I think you can hear that for yourself, friends. There are both cheers and boos. People booing, that is. Discussions are continuing in Brussels to try to find a solution to Greece's debt crisis after Sunday's referendum in which the Greek people rejected the terms of a bailout deal. Now, in our next video from today's news, friends, the question is asked, how could the UK be affected by the Greece money problems? All right, friends, and I paused because those of you watching live, you saw that. But those of you who are watching in the archive, there may just be a big hole right there with silence where we just were, because that little clip, I didn't catch it ahead of time. Has some music behind it. I don't know what impact that's going to have at this moment. Right there tonight, very short program this Wednesday night. Tomorrow's the day when Greece is supposed to have a proposal on the table that the rest of Europe will be voicing their yay or nay on by Sunday. With really, as I mentioned in some notes to some of you on some of the social media, one thing we're going to be watching, and you'll watch Sunday, however this comes down, the final decision on things is going to come from the mouth of Germany. You watch and see on that. All right, again, friends, that's it for this Wednesday night. God willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow night, Thursday night, with the day's current news related to the Bible and prophecy here on Nightcast. Until next time, your host, Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth, saying so long and good night, friends.
You have been watching Nightcast with Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth. Nightcast can be seen Sunday through Thursday nights here on COGTV.org. Tonight's program is also available anytime on demand in the COGTV.org video archive.